Well, it's I love a September start of practice. I'm old enough, and some of you are too, to remember the hard October 15th start of practice. I can't even imagine what that would be like nowadays. So in other words, we would be able to have, some strength and conditioning work, and guys would play pickup and things like that. You couldn't work the players out until October 15th. We used to not be able to work them out in the summertime. And I can't believe all the work that we've done this summer and this fall with the new 4-hour rule and the summer rules. And they're really, really good rules. I'm responsible for these guys, their careers, their academics, their progress towards a degree, all these things. And yet legislation used to be in the summer and early up until October 15th, you couldn't really put your hands on them. So it's been great. So as a result, we are, as is every other team, it's not a competitive advantage, so much further down the road. I'm not having to have double sessions, practice 6 days a week, and get ready for our first game. So anyways, it's good from that standpoint. I think we've had a good fall, but I think the team, somebody asking how good we are, how good are we going to be? And it was interesting because I felt like last season, while there was a period where we were the best team in college basketball, which was pretty special, and really thinking almost every game we played last year, for the first time in my career, I think I had a better team. It's never happened before. And they played like it for the most part. And then you back up a little bit, you go, it happens so often. I used to say this with Chris Lofton at Tennessee. All things are equal, but we got number 5 and you don't. We had Lofton, you don't. And there were times that all things were equal, but we had Jabari and you didn't. Now we had Walker, we had Wendell as a terrific point guard, and KD, different dimensions. So now we are Jabari-less. And so the question is, has the returning players improved enough from whether it would be year 1 or year 2 or 3, depending on where they are, for us to be able to compete for the SEC championship again. Will John I and Yohan be able to fill in and be able to, because they're going to get a lot of the minutes that Walker and Jabari got. And what's that going to be like? Love my depth. I like the chemistry. I like the work ethic. And obviously we had a great summer, as far as co-leadership was concerned. Only announcement I have is Alan Flanagan is out for personal reasons, personal reasons. And other than that, I have no other announcements. So I'll take some questions.
Well, I guess, is there a time frame?
Personal, family matters, and no time frame right now. I did such a great job covering our team.
Well, Bruce, what have you noticed? Again, I know you only had 1 day of official practice.
Yeah.
But with the freshmen in particular, what have you seen with those guys as far as them catching on and getting time?
Okay, the freshmen. So Trey Donaldson. Trey Donaldson may have been the best athlete in a really good high school in Tallahassee the minute he walked in the door as a freshman. Like, he was a freshman quarterback. He was a freshman strong safety. He was the point guard. And, you guys know where he was ranked in football. He was one of the top strong safeties in the country. And he wanted to go play basketball. And so he's a great kid. But I'm talking about, for the first time in his kind of adult competitive playing life, he's now in a situation where he's not the best player on the team. And, he's competing with some veterans like Wendell Green and Katie Johnson and Zep Jasper. And he's handling it. he's handling. He's really good. And I want him to keep pushing. And I want him to push for now. At the same time, he's facing a situation where, what if he doesn't start for the first time in his life? Or, where is his role going to be? So it's unbelievable to watch. He's such an incredible competitor. Take my word for it, he's going to be really good. I don't know how quickly that's going to take place because he's a freshman. Jens Westry is really talented. He's got stuff you can't teach. He's got a really good feel. He's good with the ball. He's good without the ball. He's active defensively. He's played, having played in that prep school stuff. He's been challenged. He's been tested, high end AAU ball. So he put on about 10 pounds this summer. He needs to put on about 10 more before the season starts, right? Because he's pretty wiry. So but he's really good. So really pleased with him. And then, Yohan, he'll play in the NBA. And don't know when, but he's got great upside. He's one of the best athletes I've coached at his size. So comparing him to, say, Jabari or Tobias Harris that I had at Tennessee or Chuma Okeke, those are kind of the class he's sort of in. Because he's fairly young at the game, he's not as skilled as those guys, not as polished as those guys, but he's a little bigger and he's a little better athlete, believe it or not, than all of them. So he's got really, really good upside. He can really shoot the basketball, knows how to score. Got to learn how to defend, got to learn how to, the physicality of the game, but he's talented.
What do you get out of Jalen Williams this year?
Jalen can play whatever role he wants to play, but just like every year, the last couple of years, he's had some pretty good guys at his position. So he comes in as a freshman, and he's got veterans like Anthony McLemore and D'Angelo Purifoy, and when we get an injury to Isaac late in the year, all of a sudden Jalen comes off the bench, and boy, boom, you see it. And then his sophomore year is a COVID year, and he has a really good year. He was one of our better players and had a really terrific sophomore year. Big numbers, probably as much improvement from freshman to sophomore year. And then last year, Jabari Smith comes in. And most guys would have turned and ran, transferred, because, but he competed with Jabari. And, it wasn't until sometime in, early October that Jabari actually beat him out for the position. So he played backup role. He's competing right now with Yohan, for who's going to start, who's going to finish, and how much they're going to play. Yo's not as skilled as Jabari, but he's a little bigger. He's very athletic. And so, look, whoever I put on the floor at that position will be pretty good. Jalen's got an opportunity to make that decision for himself. But again, it's first day of practice, so we've got to let these guys compete a little bit.
Bruce, can you tell a difference this fall compared to last fall with guys like Wendell and Katie and that you have a backcourt that's they're all coming back. You're not breaking them in like you did last year. Can you tell a difference?
Yeah. Wendell had a great year. Wendell had one of the more underrated years in college basketball last year. You look at his numbers and you look at his assist turnover ratio. He had some guys out there that could make some shots, but he also had some guys out there that missed some shots. But Wendell had some pretty big numbers. I mean, I'm not exactly sure, Marlene, exactly what record Wendell broke. But I mean, didn't he have one of the best assist turnover ratios in the country? Pretty good. Pretty good. So he comes back. Last year he had to prove it. This year he's already proven it. So now the question is, is he going to take that leadership role? Is he going to really lead our team And his attitude, his work ethic, he's in here all the time. You could see a different level of confidence in Wendell. I think KD, he made so much progress last year on and off the court, academically, physically. You look at him right now, he's lost some weight. He's faster, he's quicker. His practice habits have continue to improve. So he's positioning himself to have a big year. I think Zepp's the same. I think Zepp is Zepp, man. He's gonna bring it every day. He's gonna, I think the only thing you'll see differently with Zepp is I think you'll see Zepp being more aggressive shooting the basketball. I think Zepp's gonna be a little bit more aggressive. He shoots a beautiful ball. He shoots a straight ball, and we've gotten him to expand his range a little bit. And I just see Zepp being a little bit more aggressive offensively.
Last week, we saw you at the culture. You mentioned the arena kind of being renovations kind of being pushed back to focus on NIL. Can you just tell me a little bit more about what you're trying to do with NIL and where all that?
Yeah, so I'll give you a great example. So we need a new practice facility. We really do. Okay. Take today, for example. We're in here. Why are we in here? Because volleyball's got the court this week, pretty much, because they've got at least 1 or 2 games. And by the way, we need to show up on Wednesday night for the women's volleyball team. I'll be out there tweeting tomorrow. They play Wednesday night, right? Isn't that the SEC opener? It's the SEC home opener. SEC home opener. That's close. So we're going to be there. We'll be there, loud and proud. So as a result, Coach John and I, we got to split the gym. So, today I can't get on the floor till like 4:30. Practice time is like basically 2 to 6. Morning 8 to 2 is academics. 2 to 6 is athletic practice time. And then typically at 6 o'clock at night, those are the student athletes. That's our time to study and, study table and different time, dinner. So today I go at 4:30. Tomorrow I don't get on the floor till 5. I actually wanted to go recruiting tomorrow night, but I can't go recruiting tomorrow night because I can't practice till 5. Normally, if I could have gone in and had a practice, leave a little early, I could get to Atlanta, see a practice. I can't do it. I'm not complaining. That's just the reality of it. We have 3 teams are in here on a regular basis and only 2 courts. And then gymnastics comes in. And then everybody else comes in to use the facility. We need a new court. We need another court. But if we don't get the NIL thing right, doesn't matter how many practice courts I have. So it's my way of saying let's take care of lots of other. We got baseball's got to get some stuff done, as you guys know by rule, I'm allowed to encourage people to support NIL and support our student athletes, and that's all I can really say. So that's my way of sort of saying that's what we need to do.
One last question. Bruce, I'm playing and had the struggles last year coming off the injury. You did flash a lot, but a full year removed from now, how does it kind of look? And what's the outlook of those following this week?
He's physically much better. He's physically almost back to 100%. And I think that's where you're going to have to evaluate him. When your strength is your size, your athleticism, the physicalness of his game, and then when you take some of that away, he can't be the same player until he gets that all back. And I think he's much close to, or actually right where he was before his injury. So.